take us through the two finishes that you're working on here today and how you achieved these looks?
Well, this one was a finish I used to do, and it was a version of petrified wood, and it was also something I did to reproduce malachite. And I thought, what if I took that and added gold instead of color?
And how about this other piece that you do where you create this perfect linear pattern?
I wanted something to show that truly hand done. And that is truly hand done when you use your fingers to do a finish and get that pattern. And each one is totally individual.
So when you work with a designer on a collection and they say, I want to achieve this finish, take us through an example of something where you had to create a solution for what they were looking for.
Well, probably this one with Barbara Berry here, where I had to do a celestial finish that the celestial pattern that she did for Cravat, and we had to find a way to reproduce that. And we kept thinking, how can we stiffen that fabric? And I decided to take a look at trying glue. And we glued the fabric. I've never done that before. And we ended up being able to make a mold of that. And so we ended up with this as an end result, a lacquered finish that has all the characteristics of the fabric, but it's now a lacquer.
How did this go from being a wooden skeleton of many, many pieces into this metal finished component?
The original sculpture, it's one of a kind and extremely valuable. They sent that to me, and I had it sitting on my workbench, and then I could look at that, take measurements off it, and then I carved all the wooden pieces because you couldn't make a casting from the way this was assembled, so it had to be taken apart, and they weren't about to let me saw their sculpture apart.
You eyeballed it and worked off of that.
I eyeballed
Wow.
the parts. Then all the parts were sent to Italy. They make a mold from it, make wax pieces, and then there's the lost wax method. You melt the wax out, pour brass in. Then that was all assembled, brazed together, and then gold plated to make the final piece.
You come from a family of upholsterers. Tell us your history with this craft.
Well, my great-grandfather had started a furniture factory in High Point, I guess back pre-World War II, and had it. My father, he was an upholsterer.
So the piece you're working on here, it has a tufted back and a loose seat. And what's the most challenging part of upholstering a piece like this?
Probably the tufting, doing the tufting back, yeah, the diamond tuft.
And that's all done by hand?
It's all hand done, yeah.
So how long would a piece like this take you to create?
An upholsterer, probably an hour and a half just to do the inside upholstery parts on it. From start to end, it's probably 8.5 hours in total time on the chair.
What's your favorite part of all of this, of being a creator, of being with Baker? What's the most gratifying part for you?
Well, it just allows me to use my talents and to actually receive a steady paycheck for doing something that I love and enjoy doing.